Up here, give me a sec. Back this up a little bit and tilt us down a little more here. There we go. All right, guys, what's going on? If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton. This is VW Fitness, and I do fitness tech, fitness supplement reviews, and lifestyle videos. Obviously, the last two videos you guys did watch were both vlog videos. Yeah, the trip was amazing. I can't say enough good things about France. Unfortunately, I did get sick at the very end of it. Let's do it. That's right, guys. I'm stoked to be here. We're talking about the Nutrabio Alpha EAA New York Punch. This just released, I think, about a week and a half ago. I've heard really good things, kind of mixed reviews between this and the original BCAA New York Punch. A lot of great things were kind of said about the original. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of test this today. Obviously, I would have loved to do like a kind of full-scale production. As you guys may or may not be able to tell, we are in a completely different place. And if you guys are not up to date, we are moved into our new Austin, Texas home. Myself and Katie drove across the country, 2 separate cars, did it in 2 days, stopped in El Paso last night, or I guess the night before, overnighted there, and then we just got into Texas literally yesterday. Got the keys at like 4 o'clock. And all of our stuff doesn't really arrive until next week. And we didn't really bring any furniture. So, you know, my desk and everything that you typically would have in this room, this will be where I typically will do all of my reviews from here on out. This awesome painting here has just always kind of been here. So we're going to utilize it. It kind of matches with the VW Fitness colors. And yeah, very stoked to be here. Pretty exciting stuff. But I will get into this review, guys, then we'll do like kind of a Q&A if you guys have any questions. I am kind of here to answer them and kind of more interaction with you guys because I think that's almost more important than some of the information that I do give out. So we'll start out with price with this product. It comes in at $34.99. That is right off of their website. This is 30 full servings, which is great. I think price point for an Alpha EA, it is a little bit on the higher end, but what you're paying for, I think, is the quality and especially the quality control with Nutrabio. You know, everything is fully disclosed. If you guys can see here, I am shooting with my iPhone, so everything's kind of backwards to me. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything down to the flavorings is fully disclosed, which is awesome. I can't really say enough good things about companies that do this, and actually this is the only company I've ever seen that goes that far in depth with their label ingredient breakdowns. I have talked about Alpha EAA before, so I'm not really going to dive fully into the label and the ingredients. What I will say though is that I think this is a very well-dosed EAA product and BCAA product. Along with that, it does have some hydration stuff, which I am always a huge fan of. I talked about that a couple of reviews ago. They now take that payment option where you can pay over 4 weeks. I just lost my money to them. Yeah, I think it's Klarna or something, some sort of payment kind of thing. I've seen some other supplement companies do this where they're kind of taking payment options, which is crazy to me because obviously you can just get a little crazy and out of control. I've done that before. My last haul was a big one. I'll talk about that later in the video. But this was bought with my own money. They didn't send this to me. I am part of the Nutrabio Nutra crew on Facebook, and I'm not necessarily as active as I would like to be. You know, I'm not biased towards really one product. I do have kind of my go-tos, and definitely with products like this, I think Nutrabio is kind of going along the right way of adding in new flavors and keeping their products up to date and reformulating and those sort of things. And I think that's really important as new developments and new ingredients and new things kind of come out. So yeah, again, label-wise though, I think this is a really good label. It includes some estrogen. I've talked about that a lot. It has the focus nootropics and hydration, which is key. I personally use HydroCharge. That's just my kind of go-to. This is kind of has everything, and obviously the price point is, like I said, a little bit more. So in terms of price, you know, I don't really rate EAAs and BCAAs too much, but I will say that I think this comes in at about a 4 out of 5. I don't think I think it is on the higher end, but for what you're actually getting within here, I mean, it's a 14.61 gram scoop for an EAA product, and most BCAA products run around, you know, just under 10. So you're getting some other things in here that I think are beneficial that can help you throughout the day. And that's one of the bigger things. We've just got into our tub of it. Same solid formula for sure, definitely. And the flavor is probably the biggest reason why I picked this up. I heard so many great things about the New York Punch with the BCAAs. It was or their Intra Blast. And a lot of people like loved it. I never had the opportunity to try it. I didn't order it. I kind of missed my time with that. And so I definitely wanted to jump on this when I heard that they released it. And so yeah, in terms of price, 4 out of 5. Label breakdown, I'm gonna give it a solid 5 out of 5. Everything on here is broken down very nicely. I think everything in here is dosed at a very good level, and I can't say really too many other good things about it. Now let's just jump into taste. Like I said, guys, this is gonna be kind of a weird one because it's my first video and I'm not even like pre-shooting it. I'm live with you guys and trying to do it. I don't have a table or anything, so like literally the bottle is down on the ground, but we have 8 to 10 ounces of water here. That's what it recommends. And we're just gonna take a scoop here and give this a try. Now, I'm just gonna be completely honest here. I said it in my vlog videos. You guys might be able to still hear it. I'm still coming down, or I'm still sick, still kind of coughing up some stuff. I have not been in the gym for 2 weeks. That's why I really didn't want to do a pre-workout review and try to rush into the gym and give you guys my honest thoughts. And I really haven't fully come back on the stimulants either. You know, I'm drinking coffee and whatnot. I'm not taking any pre, obviously, because I haven't been in the gym. I'm not taking any fat burners, nothing like that. So I really wanted to like get to Austin, just take a minute to breathe, and then, you know, start next week ideally, which some other interesting news with that. We'll talk about that later. And try to get back into the gym. I'll probably end up going to the gym maybe tomorrow and Saturday, just to try to get some movement in. Obviously, it's just been so hectic that I just haven't had time, and I haven't been feeling very well. So overall flavor here, or scent, I guess this does come in 5 different flavors. Now that is right off Nutrabio's website. If you go to bodybuilding.com, I think they carry 3 of the flavors. Natural Body, I think, has 3 or 4. It just kind of depends, but you know, I typically like to look at the manufacturer's website just to be as accurate as possible with these flavors. One sec here. All right, so we've got 1 full scoop here. Again, guys, apologies for not being able to just, you know, show you everything here. And we're gonna give this a nice, good shake. So in terms of mixability, obviously you guys can see it. Somewhat, a little bit of some foam here. And on the bottom, I would say minimal sediment here, as you guys can see. You can kind of see it as it kind of comes forward right there. But not too bad, not too bad. I've heard mixed things about this flavor, so kind of interested to try it. As you guys know, I'm not a huge coconut fan. I've heard that this is kind of coconutty and then kind of that dragon fruit or somewhat a flavor, but cheers. Okay, so initial thoughts, very smooth. I think the flavor is definitely like solid for an EAA, BCAA hydration product. I would say it kind of tastes like this, somewhat of a small coconut, very minimal. Not as much as I've tasted or what I was expecting, but there's a little bit of some coconut flavor and then kind of like this peach O flavor. And I talk about that in the Alpha Theory K9 pre-workout. It's very mango. It tastes phenomenal. I loved it. This is very similar, I would say almost a little more tropical kind of flavoring in here. But overall, I think it tastes amazing. I mean, again, I say this about BCAAs, EAA products, hydration products. Typically, the flavoring is going to be 100% on point. It's very rare that I find a BCAA product or EAA product that just doesn't taste very good. To me, this tastes, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I could consistently see myself drinking a scoop of this, you know, throughout the day, maybe even 2 a day, depending on obviously how much money you want to spend. But I think for what you're getting and then you put this amazing flavor on top of it, and this is allegedly the New York Punch. Now, I have heard that some people like the Intra Blast more, some people like this one more. There is a slight difference between the two because obviously they are two different kinds of products. There's some other different actives within here. Did you see what happened to Spartan Nutrition? Their site is down, and on there, no more Dippin' Dots icy flavor or Smarties. I did not hear anything about that. I did hear about another company, Nutrabio, kind of brought it to light about another company that the FDA just kind of cease and desist. I don't really follow a ton of that just because I think it's one of the bigger problems in the supplement industry is that all these companies sometimes they do some backdoor things that just aren't right for the consumers, and it sucks that it literally takes, I don't know if it's necessarily a legal activity, but it takes the FDA, who doesn't even regulate supplements, to kind of come in and say, like, you guys are done. I don't know what necessarily that one is. I'm guessing it's probably a copyright thing, something with flavorings. That would be my guess. I legitimately do not know what that Spartan Nutrition is, but in terms of like that lawsuit or why their website's down. But my guess would be is that they didn't have permission. They flavored it. They used the name. They used a likeness, and it just didn't work. And so yeah. It sucks. It's just sad to see companies trying to get that upper edge, in my opinion, and they don't go about it necessarily the right way. For a first time buying pre-workout, which would you choose? One without creatine? That's a tough question. Without creatine. Because right now my number one kind of go-to that I would send anyone to kind of try, it has creatine, and that's the Alpha Theory K9. Pre-workout. I just really love that pre-workout. I will get back to you on that. I would say, depending if you're high stim or if you're really sensitive, don't go this route. Or if you're kind of new to stimulants and pre-workouts, I would say, gosh, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Game day is still kind of up there for me. I would say it's entry level to an extent. The octreotine, some people might argue that that's a little bit higher of a stimulant than some people can tolerate. But simplicity wise, I would just look for something with a good amount of caffeine that you're comfortable with taking, and then obviously citrulline, beta-alanine. Maybe some taurine. Just keep it very, very simple. You don't necessarily need to look for products that have a million different actives, especially if you're new to pre-workouts in the supplement industry, because you put a bunch of stuff into a pre-workout and you take it, you potentially can run into some stomach problems, as well as different interactions with taking something. So I always suggest that either you try to grab like a sample of something first and just kind of see what you like. Not everyone's going to be the same when it comes to what they recommend for a beginner, what they recommend for high stim. If there's a one pizza that everyone loves, there'd only be one pizza company out there. I think that's the easiest way to kind of explain it. I've heard that explanation from other supplement review people, and I 100% agree that, like, my opinion is great, and I'm glad to be able to voice it and give it to you guys. But at the same time, there's a lot of other opinions, and really the greatest way for you to figure that out is for you guys to go out and try it. And that kind of leads me into something that I did want to talk about tonight. On this live video. I'm going to take another drink here. But seriously, any other questions you guys have, throw them out there, interrupt me. I'll totally answer them. More than happy to. If one really pops in my head in terms of that last question, in terms of a pre-workout, I'll let you know. All my supplements are not here. I literally just have the new stuff that I brought with me. The rest of it will be here, ideally, hopefully next week, crossing fingers. So off the top of my head, like I said, I have not opened that box in a while. So it's just not a lot of names are coming to mind, other than number one that's been on my mind, and that's the K9, which I do have in my closet here. So I got an email the other day, and I won't disclose obviously names or anything like that, but I think it's a bigger conversation that we need to have, that I should be stressing a lot more. I do stress it. Or I have stressed it more in some of my like higher stim pre-workout. I received a comment from a completely different, not even, I don't know, subscriber or viewer about, DMHA being banned in the military. Okay. And basically the email that I received is that, they were asking if there were any potential illicit substances in a sample that I sent out of course, cocaine, the pre-workout, okay? And I personally know that Nick over at Pure Cut Subs is not putting anything illicit into his pre-workouts, okay? So this is not a dig at them, obviously, or trying to call anyone out. I just think this is a conversation that not a lot of people are talking about, but basically this person took the pre-workout and then they ended up not passing a drug test, and they wanted to ask me if potentially, there was something illicit that could have triggered, the positive drug test. Now, first off, I'm just going to start off by saying always check with a physician or doctor before you take supplements, especially if you're new. Okay, if you've been taking supplements for a while and your doctor knows and you know what you can take, that's a whole different story. I still 100% wholeheartedly believe that you should still check with a doctor, and always do research on the ingredients, okay? Especially if you're in a sport, if you're in the military, if you're someone that's on probation, any sort of like triggers like that where you're gonna have to, be drug tested, just check, okay? Check with your probation officer before you take it. Check with your athletic trainer before you take a supplement. It's always better to be safe than sorry with these things. This is not one of those kind of instances where, it's easier to say sorry than ask for permission. Always be on the safe side of these things. And I think that's just a conversation that I kind of wanted to have with you guys and just kind of put that out there in terms of everything is that, you really have to have that conversation and do your own research. And that's why you guys potentially come to my channel. You come to, the Review Bros, 5-minute reviews, all these different reviewers, and you go to them for knowledge. And, at the end of the day, like the knowledge is affecting me. But, the way that you take a supplement is going to be completely different in your lifestyle and everything that you do. So always check with physicians, with, like I said, any trainers, probation officers, etc. So definitely want to put that out there. The other thing I'm going to say with that, though, on the other side is that I'm not giving out any sort of illegal drugs, okay? There's no illegal substances being sent, okay? I'm sending you guys literally straight out from the pre-workout right into a bag. I label it, send it right out to you. I know it looks a little sketchy sometimes, but honestly, they're free samples. They're for you guys. It's something that I'm trying to do to give back as part of the money that I make from YouTube, which I've talked about this before. It's very, very minimal. No cocaine here. That's right. There's not. And it was a very interesting conversation. They never replied back to me after I responded and gave them a very detailed message. The comment on the DMHA thing, I didn't even reply to. I just haven't had a chance. It's just, I'm not in the military, so I can't tell you if something's banned or not banned. I think it's important that you take the time to just do your research. So that's kind of the big talk here. That was kind of the big key points I did want to mention in this review and whatnot. But any other questions, comments, concerns, anything? I'm here. I'm here with you guys in Austin, Texas. It is 6:20 in the evening, and I'm hoping, more than likely Monday's review will be something either in here or it's going to be downstairs in the kitchen, kind of my traditional. So is it a buy on the EAA? Yes. I think it's a buy. For me personally, I do think it's a buy just because of everything that's in it. The nootropics, the hydration, and then obviously the biggest thing, the EAs and BCAs. The flavoring here is really good. I do enjoy it. I think price point's a little high. $34.99 for an EA product. I mean, that's typically what most pre-workouts cost, somewhere in there, maybe even 40. But I just, 1 month's rent on LA is home. Yeah. definitely one of the bigger reasons why we moved to Austin. I'm not doing an Austin vlog or a moving vlog. I honestly had no time, guys. Like, I literally got back on Thursday night from France after sitting on the plane for 11 and a half hours. I was sick. Had to drive 2.5 hours back down to San Diego. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, had to pack up everything. Monday had to load pretty much the majority of everything into the pod and then the rest of it into the car. And Tuesday morning, 5 a.m., we were up and off to El Paso. So literally no time to kind of shoot a vlog. I wish I kind of could have. I wish that I did, but at the same time, I'm glad I didn't overkill myself and I just kind of moved and just got here. I mean, yesterday was just a huge weight off the shoulders in terms of moving and getting here. And I'm excited for this because I know I've been kind of off the grid and it's been a slow start in 2020. I'll just say that for me personally, the website is still down. That's on purpose because these supplements are not in my hands, so I can't ship them to you. More than likely, it will be back up by next week, end of next week. I hope you guys do snag up some free samples. Hope you guys snag up a shaker bottle. I'll probably do some deals on those here this next week. And yeah, we have a ton of reviews coming. Now, that's probably what everyone's wanting to know. What is happening? What is happening? So I talked about this when I was doing the pumps sequence. I'm going to do the Chemix King of Pumps non-stim pre-workout review. That'll probably come here relatively soon. We have the Jacked 3D. That's right, Jacked 3D. I've been seeing a lot of people reviewing those ones actually lately, which is interesting. It's one of the OGs, and you know, it's this new reformulated whatever. And I'm excited to try it, give it a try. I did take the original Jacked 3D. Honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan, and I might get a bunch of thumbs down for saying that, but it just wasn't for me. That wasn't my initial. It was huge. I remember it being one of the bigger pre-workouts at the time. It felt like it was like the C4 at the time, 3 years ago, so when C4 was kind of like the big brand out, Cellucor. How is Chemix? I hear good things of it. Do you remember Raz now? That old I kind of remember that. I'm trying to remember the one, I think it was called Cracked or something along those lines. It immediately got banned. It was pretty quick. And I remember that was the first pre-workout I'd ever tried. And holy shit, like the stim on that was insane. There was some TMA in there, and I'm sure a bunch of other things. It was a prop blend at the time. Obviously, majority of brands were all doing prop blends, and I just remember that one being insane. I like my heart was literally felt like it was going to come out of my chest. I remember giving it to my dad too, which I felt really dumb about doing because obviously like he's a lot older than me, and like taking those sort of things without, like I said, a physician can be kind of dangerous. So you got to be kind of careful. But the Chemix, I will grab it. One sec here. Personally, oh, you know what? I do not have it in front of me. This is another one though that Glaxon sent to me. This is the Specimen pre-workout. They did send me the GFY as well pre-workout. So this is on the I guess on the list and coming soon. The Chemix one is really interesting to me because it has an ingredient in there that the chemist basically formulated himself. It's a patented ingredient that is only in his pre-workout. And so I'm interested to try it. In terms of the pump products, I didn't really do that many, but I did really kind of enjoy doing it. And it was interesting to kind of feel out how pump products work and really no stim and, reduced bloating and all those sort of things. The headaches were absolutely terrible. So I do plan on doing another stim break here in about 2 months just to make sure that I don't go through that process again. So great review. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I am trying my best to be as consistent as possible, especially at the top of this year. It's been difficult. France was pretty tricky to do that. This move has been tricky to do that. But we have a lot of great big things coming. I'm not working currently. I haven't worked since, I think, beginning of December. Majority of my work has been kind of preparing for this and, looking forward to 2020 and what we're going to do in terms of the channel and the brand and whatnot. And so, in terms of all that, just kind of a sneak peek, I guess, into what's going to happen is ideally we are going to shift up to a 3 video a week schedule. That will more than likely be like a Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that kind of schedule. I'm taking Alpha Lion Santa Sauce. It's so good. Res Slime and didn't like it. Yeah, you know, everyone's been talking about Alpha Lion, and it sucks because they will not respond to me about sending samples. I hear that they're very stingy about sending anything or getting back to people. Santa Sauce sounds cool. It sounds like a really fun flavor. The Red Slime, I've heard a lot about that one as well. I know a lot of other reviewers have reviewed that flavor and that pre-workout. For me, when a company doesn't really want to, you know, reach back out after I reach out to them multiple times, like I literally, here's how the process goes for me. And obviously, there's probably a better way, or maybe somebody does it differently. But basically, I send them an Instagram message. I explain my channel. I explain what I do, how I break down the review, how high quality, you know, the rough amount of time it will take for me to turn around, et cetera, et cetera. And then usually I get a response. If I don't get a response, then what I'll do is I'll hit their contact button within their Instagram profile, and I will email them. And usually that will get forwarded to the proper person, and then it just kind of goes from there. But alas, they have not gotten back to me. And there's been other companies. I'm not trying to, you know, at them or you know, shame them or anything like that. It's just, it's frustrating when you're trying to build a very large variation of products and companies and showcase these companies in different ways and show the value in their product, so that you guys are more well-informed, more well-educated, and you guys can make your own educated, formulated decision when making a purchase. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, it's a buy. It's a buy if you're looking for an EAA BCAA product. I'll say that. Like I said, for me personally, I'm not taking any sort of that. The biggest reason why I would take this is for the nootropic and the hydration properties. I'm not dieting right now. That's one thing. In February, I do plan on starting to diet down and get ready for summer. I've packed on, yeah, just looking at my selfie here. I packed on some weight. You know, I enjoyed France. I wasn't going to half-ass, you know, trying to go to the gym, but then eating like crap. Like, I'm just going to go for it, enjoy it. I'm literally in France. And you guys should check out those vlogs if you haven't. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. We shot some stuff with the drone. There will be more drone stuff here in Austin. The regulations here are pretty minimal from what I've seen. And I did fly it here actually the last time I was here, when I was working here. So in terms of the work, what's going to happen on this channel? Yeah, let's get back to that. You know, I'm planning on trying to grow the channel exponentially this year. Okay. The reason why we moved to Austin was obviously, you know, cost. And I can kind of work from wherever in terms of like I can travel into LA and whatnot. What do you think about Evolution Nutrition? I don't know much about them. Honestly, I've heard that name. I've never tried any of their products. Yeah, I have no recollection. This is what I'm saying. I'm trying to build a better database of very different companies, from ones that are very high stim, from ones that are very niche markets, from ones that are very small and very beginner, like just came to market kind of companies, to the big boys, you know, like Cellucor and BSN, and you know, your kind of staple companies. And then you got companies like Ghost, where I would say they're a pretty damn big company, but they're still growing, and they're still making mistakes, and they're still figuring it out, and they're not perfect, and they're still launching new products. Launch. I got a question the other day about asking about Ghost products and what the next Ghost release will be. I have no clue. I wish I knew. If they're watching, let me know. Maybe give me a hint, drop a hint. I think more than likely they'll drop a greens product this year though. Probably another CG V4 pre-workout. I hope they fix the glycogen issue, or super clumped. That's probably the biggest problem with that pre-workout. Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else. Maybe a multivitamin, something like that. I could see them doing. Can you get a better pump drinking beetroot juice compared to taking a supplement? That's an interesting one. I've heard different reviews on that. I personally have never tried the beetroot juice thing. I know that it does increase nitric oxide production, which is obviously what contributes to the pumps. Again, this kind of goes along with like, what's the best pre-workout for a beginner? What's the best pre-workout for high stim? There's not really one route to go. I think the best way to figure that out is to really, really know your body and really test your body with different things. So I don't necessarily just mean supplements. I mean exactly what you're saying. Do the beet juice thing for 5 days consistently, whether you train or you don't. Take it every day, a certain time, and really try to dial in how you feel and mark it down, write it down in a journal. Try not to change your diet too much, or fluctuate like with, a super high fat diet. If you're doing keto, don't go into like, a carb refeed day while you're trying to do this and figure it out, because the body's going to, shift and change. Do the best you can with that, because I think it's very difficult to do. You pretty much have to be eating like rice, chicken, and broccoli, for every single meal, or pretty much the same meals every single day for 5 days, train at the same time, stress be exactly the same, to really understand what it's doing in your body. But I think that it's almost sometimes better to go the natural route, and use a beetroot extract, rather than using a supplement. But at the same time, I can go on the other side of that and say supplements are great because they pack in multiple different ingredients that all contribute to that one kind of idea or goal that you're trying to get to, and that's the pump. And so it's going to have various different products or ingredients in there that are going to help you get there. Whereas, taking beetroot juice, it could potentially work, but why not try to increase more? And again, this goes back to, can you afford it? Is it budget friendly? Those sort of things. So it's very subjective, and I don't think there's a yes or no to that question. It's all dependent on you. I would say though, if your diet is in check, if you've been doing this a long time, try isolating it and testing it on yourself. Have you used Insane Labs? I have not. Again, another company that I've heard a lot of great things about, and I have not received any. I think the biggest issue that I've had, with doing these reviews is really trying to get a hold of these companies. And I'll be honest, legitimately, probably 80 to 90% of the products that I have or that I've reviewed have all been bought by this guy right here out of my hard-earned money, not YouTube money, not, bucked up money, not anything, bottles, samples, anything like that. Like I don't take any money from the samples, guys. It's a $5 flat rate shipping. Okay. The samples are literally money coming out of my own pocket because I'm buying these products. Like I said, this Glaxon product, this was sent to me, and I really do appreciate them doing that. I reached out to them. They got back to me. They're an awesome company. They seem really fun. I love their labels and whatnot. The Nutrabio team, they have sent me some products. I didn't follow up with them about the New York Punch Alpha EAA product and trying to get that sent out to me for free. At some point, it's kind of like, how many times do you ask, hey, can you send me product? Can you send me product? Can you send me free product? Hey, you're launching this new thing. Can you send me free product? I think it's give and take, and I don't mind spending money on some products every once in a while. I mean, Ghost, I have to buy every single product. They don't send me anything for free. And they don't send me anything. So, aside from that, I mean, I buy from Walmart online group and have all the brands you need. Yeah, I've heard that. I was just at the HEB. That's a Texas thing. It's a new store that I'm not aware of. They don't have them in San Diego or California for all I know. But I was at HEB. I took a look around there to see if they had some some good priced pre-workouts. I mean, I'm all about like great pricing, and that in that regard. But the problem is that it just starts racking up very quickly, trying to do, 2 reviews a week. Now I'm talking about doing 3 reviews a week. I mean, it's just like, you're talking 3 tubs a week of product, and, at $30 a tub, and that's on the lower end, I would say, you're looking at $100 a week in just supplements. And right now, I mean, again, I've been working since December, and, it's tight. It's tight. Moving's never cheap. I'm a real person here, guys. I'm not getting paid by some corporate company or, some supplement company is paying me to be here. Nutrabio's not paying me for this review. I mean, hell, we're talking about a lot of different companies in this review. We're just kind of talking, actually, more than anything. I encourage all of you guys to hop on over to my Instagram at the VW Fitness. That's VW. I know that kind of slurs out sometimes. Thanks for just doing what you're doing. Hey, man, I appreciate it. That's what this is all about. I'm going to keep doing what I do. There's a lot of different, how many scoops of protein is too much for a day? That's dependent on your macros and how many calories you're trying to get and what your protein goal is for the day. I don't think there's such thing as a bad amount. You can't really overdose on protein. At the end of the day, it's a macro, it's a nutrient. It's not a supplement. Well, it is a supplement, but it's not the supplement in what waiting for your channel to blow up. Yeah, trust me. It's already happening. It's already happening. So to get back to the answer on the protein thing, it's really dependent on protein is there to supplement your diet. So ideally, most of us can eat, and I'm about 200 pounds, so I should be eating about roughly 200 grams of protein. I could say I could probably eat about 150 to 160 grams of protein if I'm not really trying, okay? If I'm really trying, I'd probably get another 20 or 30 out of that, but I'm still a little bit low. So I'd probably do 1 scoop to kind of fulfill the macronutrient profile that I have set for myself. For you, if you're only, most women, I would say more than anything, it's tougher for them to eat a lot and really meet that protein goal. They're trying to supplement with more protein, so they may be taking 2, maybe even 3 scoops. It's really going to be dependent on what your goal is. Are you bulking? Are you shredding? And what your daily caloric intake is set to, and what your protein intake is set to specifically. And based on those 2 things, you'll really be able to dial in how many scoops you should be taking a day. I personally usually do 2. That's just kind of where I've been. I like supplementing protein. It's very nice for me to drink protein right after the gym, and I kind of enjoy it. So, but in terms of the channel, guys, I really appreciate all the support. Everyone's been saying that to me. Wait for the channel. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. Waiting for it to blow up. It's been happening after Review Miss and those like 23 or 24 videos straight. The channel had some tremendous growth. I would like to see more of that. And ideally that will happen as I continue to do more reviews with more diversity in products. And I'm not still talking about the same, companies necessarily. And I feel like I have diversified quite a bit over the past few months. But I even want to expand more. We can do better here. It's all about growth, both in the gym and outside of the gym. On that note, I will quickly just kind of say, I am going to go into like a very full kind of programming and nutrition kind of talk and whatnot here probably in a week or 2, probably in 2 weeks. In terms of the schedule, next week, I am going to Connecticut, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm going to Connecticut or Massachusetts or somewhere on the East Coast, the 29th through I think the 6th or the 5th of February. So I'm gone for a few days. I am going to try to pre-shoot the reviews and whatnot, but just kind of an update. Like that's how my life works. I literally found that out today. Like I can randomly be told or asked, can you leave Salvation? Have you ever used? Yes. So Extend was actually one of the first products I ever used when I started my lifting career or lifting, journey. Salvation Extend was key. Used to drink that intra workout every single day, 1 scoop, just right there. And I can't remember what flavor it was, but I mean, it was the OG original Scivation Extend. Now they've kind of expanded and they're doing some other things, but I like it. I think it's 7 grams of BCAAs is what their profile is, 2-1-1 ratio, which isn't bad. I think there's some hydration stuff in there now. It's been a while, like I said, that was probably about 6 or 7 years ago since I first started taking that, and I haven't taken it since. I've just kind of, I talked about this in my 3 videos ago, the one product that I've been taking ever since, and that's HydroCharge. That kind of just took over BCAAs for me. And I really don't think, for me personally, BCAAs and EAAs are necessarily needed. I'm not dieting right now. My body's not in starvation mode. I'm not fasting. I'm not intermittent fasting right now. So I don't really find a huge need to kind of take BCAAs. I think they're very crucial though when you're trying to shred and you're very, very low calorie. I think they're very important, and they can be a very good means to fight cravings, as well as, you know, more water, and getting more water into the body, especially with a product like, you know, Alpha EA or even Scivation Extend. So any other questions, guys? I'm going super long tonight. Just gonna be here with you guys because I love it. And I miss you guys, and I really haven't had like a chance to really dive into this and talk, I guess, although I've been talking for 41 minutes, so it's a good time. You know, like I said, guys, follow me on the VW Fitness on Instagram. Check out the website. It's not live right now, but vwfitness.club, and that will be back live next week after more than likely I get back from this little mini trip of work. And we'll send out some samples. We'll do some giveaways. I am planning on doing some more giveaways. Is BSN Optimum Nutrition overrated and underdosed? Actually, I kind of like BSN's NO Explode. I think that's actually a really good pre-workout. I haven't taken it in a long time, and I will say the one thing I do remember about that pre-workout is do not shake it. Do not cap it and shake it and then open it, because it will explode everywhere. NO Explode makes kind of sense. But yeah, I think that's actually a pretty well-dosed pre-workout, kind of entry level, someone not looking for a lot of stims or kind of weird ingredients, very simple profile. Optimum Nutrition, not a huge fan of their pre-workouts. I am a huge fan of their Gold Standard Whey. I'll be honest, that was one of the first whey proteins I've taken. I think it's an affordable, easy, I think it's $57.99 for like a 5.5 pound tub on bodybuilding.com. Or that's what it used to be. I don't know what they sell now. I personally have been on the Ghost train. I've been on the Cage Muscle protein train. But in terms of Optimum Nutrition, I personally am a huge fan of their protein. That's about it. I think their pre-workouts are a little bit overrated, I guess you could say. I think they're overly priced and underdosed. But I think their protein is actually pretty good. The profile is good. The flavoring's not obviously as good as some of these other companies, but at the same time, like, it's very simple, it's very easy, and I think it's very affordable. I think that's probably the biggest thing. And it's accessible. It's pretty much available. I mean, I've seen it at Costco, I've seen it at Walmart, Target. I've seen it all over the place. So kind of the key thing there. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up by 45 minutes. So I'll give you guys another minute or so, and I can try to answer any last minute questions you guys might have. And yeah, again, I hope you guys like the new studio. Obviously, we will outfit this whole area, you know, probably over here. Probably put a bunch of supplements on this wall. I like the you know, the paint. It's good. What happened to Muscle Farm? I have no idea. Are they gone? Last I heard, I mean, this was years ago, is they were bought by bodybuilding.com, kind of merged, or their entities were merged, but then, you know, bodybuilding.com was sold to a huge conglomerate, and Ryan DeLuca was kind of pushed out or whatever, bought out or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. I didn't realize anything was going on with Muscle Farm. Again, I will be completely transparent and tell you guys, like, I don't follow a ton of the news. I don't see them anywhere now. Yeah, I mean, the only places I really ever saw Muscle Farm was bodybuilding.com. Excuse me. And that's it. Actually, and that was back in Boise. I remember there was actual bodybuilding.com, like mom and pop store. They got a lawsuit. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, yeah. Don't really know what else to say to that aside from this is why my conversation I had earlier about checking labels, check your companies, know who you're, getting in bed with in a sense, because literally you're putting their products into your body and how that affects you and how it, what it does to you is very important. So, yeah. All right, guys. So my 45 minutes is up. Again, I'm looking forward to I'll do probably another one of these, or I might just try to do one of these every single week to try to be more engaging with you guys. I think it's really important. I think it's a lot more fun. I'm able to answer random questions you guys might have, but you're always welcome to DM me on Instagram, Misleading on Labels. Well, that's funny you say that because I feel like a ton of companies are completely misleading or lying or whatnot, and it's the sad reality of the supplement industry. And I'm not saying that about every company. I'm saying that I wish I had the means, and I'll close it with this. I wish I had the means to be able to test every product that comes through my door. Test it for the quality, the purity, for what the label profile says compared to what a lab says is actually in it. And I would love to know if these companies are being honest and kind of like call them out, kind of Kenny KO them. If you guys aren't familiar, check out Kenny KO. I'm not friends with him. I don't know him, but I love his content. He does call outs on people, fake natties, that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge problem in the supplement industry. So I wish I could do that. Maybe one day we'll get to that point where we're able to, fully test, products and really know what we're taking. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Alpha EA Nutrabio. Does kind of smells good. And yeah, we will see you guys here in the next one. Thanks again, guys.